Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Go to tomanddan.com to sign up to be a BDM member. We just had
a big
massive.
BDM appreciation event at Salty Sisters. Now we could talk about it.
We're down at Tiffany's bar, and
it was a good time.
And we had hundreds of our listeners show up, and we did karaoke. We were giving out the prizes. We had way too much free booze.
Yeah.
The hamburgers were a-flying.
Yeah, it was good.
The wings were a-cooking. It was awesome. If you have not checked out Salty Sisters, go do yourself a favor. Check it out and tell Tiffany that Tom and Dan sent you.
And we'll talk more stories about the BDM appreciation event on the BDM show. And also sign up to become a member of our texting service, 844-866-6326. Just text BDM to that number, and it's the show number. You can find it at tomanddan.com, but text BDM and you'll be automatically enrolled into our texting service.
Yeah, that way when things happen, like new merch drops, all kinds of crazy stuff. That's what the kids call them, drops, merch drops. When we do a merch drop or anything like that, you will find out first.
All right. Where do you want to go? What'd you do this weekend besides from the BDM appreciation?
You want to talk a little bit about my scooter project?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it a little bit. So, I had been waiting about 6 to 8 weeks. I am doing a full electric conversion on my 1959 Vespa VBA scooter.
Yeah.
Now, I purchased this scooter, what would you say, like 15 years ago, maybe?
Yep, yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer.
Vintage scooter,
Yeah, it's a all-original 1959 Vespa VBA. It had an original 150 engine inside there. They all and everything matched. And I yanked much to the chagrin of a lot of purists, I yanked the engine out of it. Because, and this is inspired by you and Turkey Leg have been obsessed with these Suron electric dirt bikes.
Well, more than me, but I like the electric motorcycles.
And I got a Tesla, and I love my Tesla. I really do. I'm not a fanboy for Tesla, but I certainly do enjoy it driving itself around. The acceleration is unmatched. It's super fast. It's fun. So, you and I got to talking. You're like, wouldn't it be cool if you could have, a vintage electric scooter? And I'm like, I bet they make conversion kits. I look it up. Sure enough, there's a gentleman in England, in Tottenham, England, who hand makes these electric conversion kits. I ordered one. It got here after waiting 6 to 8 weeks. It got here last Thursday. A big, massive 118-pound box. And yesterday was my first day of going through it. Just me, a box cutter, and my dog, and a cold beer.
And so
fun.
And you have to take all the old engine out.
That was the first thing I had to do. Yeah. Well,
do you leave anything that is part of the old engine in there?
No, I left. I pulled the fuel tank. Had to drain the fuel tank and pulled that.
Okay.
I pulled all of the cables. So you're going to pull your clutch. You're going to pull your foot brake. You're also going to pull your hand brake, and your standard accelerator throttle cable.
Yeah.
So I pulled all of those, and then the engine, you just unscrew everything, and it's literally one bolt.
Yeah.
Which is like the way that Vespas
little 50cc old engine.
150cc.
Oh, it's a 150?
Yeah, it was a 150. I mean, in its heyday, that bike would have done like 40, 45.
Yeah.
It was a 3-speed too.
Okay.
So you shifted it on the left, I guess, handlebar. You would have a clutch, and you'd pull it. And then you would take it backwards into first, and then neutral was in the center, and then you could go 3 and 4 were pulled back.
Yeah.
It's very odd. Like, it is not. I mean, but like, I got to tell you, the Italians knew what they were doing when they designed this, or whomever designed this particular Piaggio Vespa. The engine was held in by one bolt perfectly. One bolt perfectly.
Yeah.
There's no room for error on this thing. It's literally, you slide the bolt out, the whole engine drops out. I'm like, how did they do that? How did they engineer that?
What are you going to do with the old engine? Do you still have it?
I do have it.
Okay.
I cleaned it up the best I could. I cleaned the carb up because, oh, man, it was looking real nasty. So I cleaned it up, and then I wrapped it in cellophane, and then I dropped it into I carpeted out like a storage bin, like a Rubbermaid.
Yeah.
And then I just dropped the engine down in there along with the original muffler, the original exhaust.
Are you going to save it just for the future? Okay.
Yeah, I got too much S from people that were like, what are you going to do with it? Well, I mean, to be honest with you, the engine is probably on its wear cycle. Like, it's probably done.
Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to rebuild it, you could, but I'm not in.
Just sell it.
No, I'm holding on to it.
No.
I'm just because it matches. Like I have the original engine that went in the original bike.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense. Those are hard to find. It kind of makes sense to hold on to it. So wrapped it in cellophane, stuffed it down into a Rubbermaid, and pushed it into the corner of my garage.
So what you're telling me is Maisie will eventually get rid of it.
Yeah, she'll sell it.
And
she won't know what it is. Like when she opens it, she's like, it stinks. He's dead. Sell it. Exactly. Our guest is early, and he's out there laughing because he knows that's true. He knows that my daughter will laugh when she has no idea what it is.
And some other future dad nerd will find this in a estate sale. Some future Jimmy of the world will find it and then get it for his scooter
and he'll
project.
take the electric out of it and put the original engine back in the way it should be. The way it should be.
Then he'll die and his kids will
and then the cycle continues. The cycle continues.
So you get this electric motor and essentially you got to bolt. It comes with the specific directions and how to. Is it still chain driven, right?
No. I honestly don't know. It is now going to be electric motor driven.
Straight from. Did it come with a wheel?
Yes.
Okay.
So it came with a billet aluminum swing arm that they what do you call that? They water jet. So the gentleman that just. Oh my God, that was disgusting. I'm becoming a dad. When you start talking about a classic car,
you were telling me I'm gassy. I got it all out before the show.
I'm a burpy classic car dad. So so there's a billet aluminum swing arm that they water jet made. Then they mount the motor in the hub on the wheel on the back.
Okay.
And then he hand wires everything using a pigtail. And he makes it look like, it's like as professional as it can be, and it's all plug and play.
The motor is driving the wheel in the back.
Yes.
Okay, so there's no traditional big electric motor in the middle where your other motor is.
No.
All the motor and the power
motor
is the back wheel.
Is the back wheel.
Okay, all right, now I understand.
So
I didn't understand.
Okay,
I'm thinking.
Most people didn't. I'll explain.
Electric motor in the front, and then it drives a chain your old two-stroke.
I'm not the storyteller of the show. I'm the wise ass. You're the storyteller of the show.
No, I get it.
You make better complete thoughts. The other thing that's amazing is that these things are. It was a 1959 Vespa. The engine has always been on the right hand side. So when you drive it, you have to get up to speed in order for it to feel like sort of secure, because you have a glove box on the back left side that has nothing in it. So it's a very awkward ride. Okay. So now I'm gonna.
Well, this is gonna kill you.
Yeah, it is gonna kill me. So I'm replacing. It's also gonna be going triple fast it's ever been. This thing will do 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, it can't even hold its bolts on.
Yeah, I'll blow the bolts off of this thing. What is it? 67 years old. I'm gonna blow the bolts off.
You're
of this
going
thing.
0 to 60 in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
all the way
faster
to the
than my
back.
Vespa.
And then you're sitting on an empty frame, so it's just gonna be
a tiny little
crazy.
strip of leather, and the shock. How old that shock? I was 65 years old. The shock. So, so I'm gonna bolt that in there, and then you run the original wires back through where the original gas and the exhaust would have been, right? So you're repurposing everything. For all intents and purposes, nobody's gonna know that this is an electric bike unless they really look at it and go, "Oh, it doesn't have a muffler. It doesn't have an exhaust." That's the only way you know.
Well, also, it doesn't make any noise.
Right. And also, I'm laying dead on the side of the road. How fast is that guy? He's doing 100 miles an hour. He blew his legs off.
He ripped his skin off.
Oh, man. When you see some of these guys ride these things, they go, too, man. Like this, you're taking a bike that would only do 35 and instantly just bolting it in, 80 miles an hour. There you go.
Too fast.
There you go. With acceleration as fast as my Tesla.
I just realized I may have orb inceptioned you with even suggesting electric motor, because you were going to go with original. You're just going to buy another original.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know that you did talk me out of it. I didn't
even talk you out of it. I just inceptioned.
It's a lot cheaper to buy a regular motor. I found a brand new. Because you can buy a brand new Vespa motor made in China. The thing will run forever for like $400.
Yeah, well, those Chinese motors, they don't run they are hunks of junk. It's kind of like the knockoff four-wheelers that you see for sale online. You're like, how is this four-wheeler $150? Because it will run for 2 weeks and then never run again. I don't even care if you're a mechanic. You'll never get it running again.
The chat room is asking, how did I even find that kit? It was just me and Tom talking. Like, it was literally inspired by Tom saying, you should look for an electric kit instead. Or you should look for an electric kit instead of a stinky old engine. And I was like, you know what? I think he's right.
Yeah, like, you're electric man.
This mother ever wants to kill me. He wants to take control of the company.
Because then you. Well, here's the thing.
And sure enough, there's a company in Tottenham, England, and it does hurt my heart to say that as an Arsenal supporter, but they hand make these things. Yeah. And these guys built it over 6 weeks' time. They built it. You can pay out the ass for getting it shipped to you, but it's like the one that everybody says is really good.
Dude, it just dawned on me, since you're doing this project, I want to build an electric three-wheeler.
Why don't you do it? You need a project.
I need
is your wife going to let you have a project? You need to get the ballooning tuning.
Let me.
You need to get the
I'll show up with a GD three-wheeler frame.
The ballooning one. The ballooning tire one.
The Andre the Giant? No, yeah. I want okay, my
1980s Honda electric conversion. Oh my God. Oh.
0 to
snap your neck. It'll just whip you backwards.
Oh yeah.
It'll just whip your neck into the ground.
I'd have to get some sort of slick so it doesn't catch, because it'll instantly do a wheelie.
And you have to put weights on the front.
No, just get a wheelie bar, a long dragster wheelie bar.
Okay, that would be really cool. If you drove to work on a electric-powered three-wheeler with a wheelie bar, you're the coolest dude in town.
Someone will run into my wheelie bar.
You bent my wheelie bar.
And they'll rocket me out.
Just call Mo. He bent my wheelie bar.
So, now, have you looked up on YouTube other guys that have converted this Vespa, this old of a Vespa?
There's only about 15.
In the world?
In the world.
All right, so you'll be one out of the 15.
I'll be one of like 10, 15 guys.
Old men that have converted their. Yeah. Have you seen it? Have you seen it haul ass and ride?
Yeah, there are guys that get them done. Okay. There was one. Now most guys don't do it themselves. Most guys call a shop, and then they get the guy at the shop. They throw money at it. But I was like, I think I can do this. I want to do this. I have a feeling I'm going to end up calling in a few favors from somebody.
No, just do it slowly.
I don't have the right. I mean, I took the center stand off.
Start buying the tools.
I took the center stand off, and I went from a 16mm center stand to a 20 or 22mm center stand, and my brackets don't fit, and now I got to drill holes in the frame, and I'm like, oh, God.
No, that's how you learn how to do it. You got to drill. You got some, you got a metal drill bit.
I know.
You drill holes.
I'm not much of a measurer.
No,
I'm an eyeball kind of a guy.
No, that's me. No, you could do it.
Oh, no, I ruined it.
You could do it.
And then I got to weld a few pieces.
This is why I wouldn't be able to do this, because I'd be so excited as soon as I got the motor, I'd want to ride it the next day. I'd be stuffing it in there.
Oh,
that's it's 13mm fifth, the same thing.
I don't even have the battery yet. The battery gets shipped from a whole different factory. Like, the battery doesn't come from the guys that made it.
Yeah.
Because legally, I guess they can't do that. So the battery ships from a whole different battery facility, and then it'll come like in a month.
Now, okay.
It's crazy.
There is a thing.
I have a bit of buyer's remorse because I'm staring at it, and I'm like, I look at it, and I'm just going to be honest with you about how I feel. I walk out, I look at it, I'm like, you'll never be able to do that. You don't have the time. You're an idiot. You're not going to be able to do it. I used to be able to do this stuff. I used to be able to wrench on the things and do. I have lost it. I'm a dumb old man.
No,
can't do it.
No confidence. You need to be a dumb old man. You can't be a smart young man. That's how you make mistakes. Anyway, only a dumb old man has the time to sit there and look at it. For hours and hours, little by little.
You have to stare at it.
Yeah. You stare at it.
I find myself staring at it a lot. There's a lot of staring.
Yeah. You stare. You just think of like how, you don't get that much done per day, and then at the end of a long journey, then you'll be riding it slowly around.
Yeah. But I think most guys, if I'm just being real, I think most guys that have a classic car project, a classic motorcycle, a classic scooter project, buy it. Sit out there, drink beer, and stare at it, and then they die and give it to their daughter or son. Right? That's what happens.
Yeah, but you're out there staring at it.
Our friend Jim Colbert bought a Datsun project, a 200Z. I think that was his project.
Well, he got a Mustang, an old rusty Mustang in the front of his mansion.
I'm not talking about that.
I saw it in his mansion. I laughed and laughed. I was like, look at it, it's rusty.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the first one he bought. He bought it.
Pushing the bushes.
He went to do it, never did it, and then ended up selling his dream.
Yeah. I know. That's what every old man does.
I don't want to sell my dream.
Yeah. I'm like, now I'm like, what could you get a electric stand-up jet ski?
Kit?
Because
oh yeah. Like, they have kits for everything now, man.
So we were talking about this at the BDM Appreciation event with another scooterman that was into ruckuses.
Yeah.
They sell an electric conversion kit for a ruckus.
Yes, they do, and it's not that expensive.
And so now,
because the ruckus is the quintessential easiest. It's like literally the easiest bike to work on.
But are they all? They're all the motors mounted on the back wheel.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just
so
like
so that makes me think that a three-wheeler, like you would need a change. Like I would just want to take the motor out, put the electric motor in, and then have it just drive a small sprocket that drives the chain. Like, why can't they do that?
They could.
They probably have that.
They probably have that.
Because because then it's easy, and then you got a gas tank. You just turn it into some sort of fanny pack for your drugs.
You put all your drugs in it. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean,
or your beers, or whatever.
In fact, they sent me this thing. Is really this thing from it's Retrospective Scooters is the name of the company I purchased it from. If you want to check them out, but it's really cool. It came with Andrea was like looking at the attention to detail. They took an under the seat like cubby, and then they put all the wiring and everything on it, so it just sits on the top, and then it comes with a little billet aluminum water jet carved metal plate that goes on right under your seat.
Okay.
And then it has like a little LED battery meter. It's badass.
They
put like the lights in there, and then it comes with a key fob. So in order to turn it on, you hit it just like a fancy car. You hit the button, and then the front light will turn on. That's how you know it's on. It's all wireless key fob. It's dope.
Okay, so there is a thing that in the automotive and boat world, I know this because the boats have a maximum amount of horsepower engine that is rated for your particular boat, right?
Yeah.
I know this because my boat has the max engine, the outboard engine that's rated for my boat is like 250. Okay, so
by a lot.
Yeah, so and then there's like specifications when it's built. Like you don't want to put a motor big enough than this thing can handle because I guess it would break apart.
Smash apart.
When they're building
this
scooter, this Vespa scooter in the 60s, I'm sure when they were building it, they're like, well, you better hope no one can put a motor that turns out X amount of horsepower. And then they probably thought, well, it's impossible because the motors for that size, that powerful, won't even fit in here because they're not even thinking about electric motors.
No.
They had no idea.
That's a pipe dream. That'll never happen.
They were born in the 1900s. And so like now.
That's why it has its own brake. That's why they had to add the hydraulic brake.
Yeah, you're putting this super powerful motor in this old 50s
the front brake.
frame.
I know the front brake will do nothing. Like literally, I'll blow that thing apart. I'll blow it right off the front.
Like, what are the chances that this goes awry in some way?
Oh yeah, I mean, like high, pretty high.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, I have to change the entire front wheel. I'm worried about doing that. I've never done that before.
Well, I mean, it's then I mean, you're not going to be going as fast as it can go, I imagine.
Probably not.
You're not going to go out to the airport and see
how fast I can
although
run it.
I
would do it once.
I want to see, like, let's go out to Bithlow
and run it once.
It's like, see how fast.
Lay it on its side and peel my arms off.
Yeah, like we just need an abandoned road, and then I'll drive next to you in my truck, and they'll see how fast it can actually go.
I like that.
Drunk.
We'll both be drunk.
Or I guess you can see how fast it'll go with your cell phone. We'll register.
Well, I mean, it has a working speedometer on it.
Yeah, but it only goes. Oh man,
we're coming in from the weekend. We got dry mouths.
Well, how fast will the speedometer?
I think it only gets to like 50.
Oh well, then
and it's the original. It just kind of flops.
Well, once that peg's at 50, how do we know? Unless I'm driving next to you in the truck,
my cell phone,
screaming like Doc Brown. You almost
got Marty, go!
Like, could you get it up? Like, what's the max speed?
It'll go 80.
80?
They said 80.
Can we get it to 88?
I think
Back to the Future?
I mean, it really depends on who's riding it, right?
Well, maybe it's 80 with a old English man. Like he's 230, right?
Skinny.
I'm saying like with an English, like this guy drink
like
every day.
Chubbier English, like a hooligan on it.
Yeah. Like those guys are 230, so it'll only go 80 with them. Like you're 100 pounds.
I'll do 100.
Like, could you?
As I'm standing right now, I weigh 160 pounds.
And then could you get it up to like a world record? Like, what's the record?
I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Well, I'm gonna start looking into it. So then, We could find.
I mean, you're right, and I didn't even buy the biggest battery because that all factors in too. You can buy a tiny battery, you can buy a medium battery, you could buy an extra large, or you can rock two
extra large
daisy chains together, so you can like take this thing like 500 miles.
Do that,
dude. It's crazy what
get
you can
do.
Get
the 2XLs.
No, it's too expensive, man. There's batteries. I can only get a loan from the loan department, which is my wife, for a medium battery. I'm begging.
Oh, medium!
Like,
come on, just get the XL.
You ask Andrea. She's in the chat room right now to beg for a medium battery.
Get the XL.
I said, let me daisy chain 2 smalls together, which is the size of a large.
Oh, okay, well, just get one large.
No, but it's more balanced. See.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because you got a battery on each side. It's crazy what they're doing with these things, man. Like, and people like this guy basically just bought all of his parts from all different vendors and made it himself. He invented his own. He's like, here, I made a thing. Here's the thing.
See, like when we start looking at electric motors, and I understand like there's purists out there that are like, oh, there's nothing like this motor or whatever. But I remember I'm old enough where I saw the evolution from 2-stroke to 4-stroke, right? And all the same people talking the same things when it happened. It was like, oh, like it'll never be as good as this 2-stroke. 2-strokes where it's at.
Are they doing electric motocross now?
It's evolving into that. It's not there yet, but it will evolve into that.
I would imagine that'd be pretty fast
and
pretty dangerous.
Well, it's the natural evolution of it, and again, I saw it from 2-stroke to 4-stroke, and then it all went 4-stroke, and now it's all going electric. And you got to look at the logic of it now without the nostalgia. People are into the nostalgia of actual engines, and they're anti.
Look, man, I'm not. I like the sound of an engine. I love it, but
do you? I mean, like if you tell me you can go faster than a gas engine,
I'd rather go faster,
and then also not be as loud.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I understand there's maybe some safety, small safety, in having a street motorcycle that maybe cars will hear you as opposed to not hear you.
I still almost get hit on my ruckus all the time, and I have a Yoshimura pipe on it. It's the loudest bike in this neighborhood.
Yeah, you can hear. I can hear you getting all the way to your house from here.
And people try to hit me daily.
And I think it's more than that. I just think people are zoned out on their phones.
Yeah, they are.
But when we're talking about better performance, and like if you can ride on the streets without having to worry about getting hit by cars, which is hard or whatever. But it's a more pleasurable experience with not a loud ass motorcycle. Just cruising. Like, it's the difference between an electric golf cart and a gas golf cart.
It's nice.
The electric is a little bit nicer of a ride. Being totally silent.
It's nice.
Instead of like, it's like you can't tell me logically that having a louder motor is somehow better of an experience. It's better, quieter motor.
I mean, and like I said, like to each his own. I know a lot of people like the cool sound of an engine, and when you rev it or get on the accelerator, you like the way it's throttles.
Baby's like, I like that sound. I like performance.
I get it. I do like performance better.
Daniel
I like going fast,
80 miles an hour,
on a tiny little scooter.
No gears, and with
that's the best part.
Zero maintenance.
I don't have to shift anymore. So this is another thing I have to do. They show you how to do this. I got to go inside the headlamp. And then that's how you work on both of your your handlebars. You work it through the headlamp. So on the right hand side, I got to go through and I got to shim up that one side to make sure that the side that has the clutch and the side that you can shift gears is unusable. So I got to but it's all like super simple stuff that's sort of scary. They're like, you're gonna need to put a couple washers in there. That's how you do it. Just throw a couple washers.
That's fine. Washers fix everything.
They fix everything.
They are like metal caulk.
Okay, metal caulk. You heard it here. Washers are metal caulk.
You just put as many washers as it takes.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It stops. Did it stop? All right, metal caulk.
Just show me the more washers, and then show me how that's a problem. It's there, whatever. Now it looks bobo.
Oh yeah, I put that.
Whatever.
No, you're not gonna see it. It's on the inside.
Oh yeah. Inside,
you'll never see it.
It's all washers on the inside. That's what they're saying.
We got to take a break?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be right back. All right, nice. Got one. Jason, you good out there, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
No stress.
Jason, how cool would an electric 3-wheeler be?
You should do it.
I'm going to start looking into it. Because you can get a cheap-ass just frame of a three-wheeler, like with no motor in it, I feel like you can find that on Craigslist all day long. And they're in Kissimmee.
8 motors at our shop.
Yeah.
We got tons of parts. We can build something.
Yeah. Now I just got to see.
I tell you, the new Toro grandstands, those things go about 25 miles an hour. Those are straight out of Lake Mary Lawn and Garden.
Oh yeah.
I fell off of one the other day.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, they've been putting some decent torque in those things, man. There's a guy around here that I don't know what brand it is, but it's one of the professional grade ones that you're doing a lot of this. And he rips over on this field. He's like, and I'm like, holy crap.
This one we just got, I mean, they're pushing like 15 grand now, so they better have something.
Good Lord, 15 grand.
I wonder if they don't do the motors with turning a tiny sprocket that turns the a chain because of the power, like it would turn it too fast or something. You know, there's got to be a reason why they put in because in the wheel. I don't
think the chain can handle it. I think you're probably right.
Yeah, the torque. Yeah, it just explode off.
Oh, man, on patrol, we were watching on Friday.
Power.
There's this homeless guy. Looked like a homeless guy. He's like an older, like, really fish out of water. Older, like homeless black guy steals a 4-wheeler. Gets on it, and he's on the interstate, like on I-4. And dude is, I've never seen anybody drive a 4-wheeler like that, killing it so fast, like the fastest thing. And it was making me very uncomfortable because no helmet, suit jacket, just blowing in the breeze. Yeah, he had a suit on. It was crazy. He was hauling ass. When they finally got him, he did. He lost a wheel and was still doing like 60. With only 3 wheels. And the crazy thing about it, when they finally got him, he didn't even appear to be like altered or anything. He was just like, I was just trying to get off the interstate. And they're like, you didn't hear us?
I'm looking up. Have someone put? Oh, okay, yeah, of course someone's done it.
How fast can 4-wheelers go? Oh my God. I mean, how fast do you need them to go? I mean, quads will do
it depends
70 miles an hour, won't they? 80 miles an hour? Well, maybe more.
Dude, they used to build like race banshees and shit, and drag race them. They'll go over 100 easy.
Jesus.
And then, a Honda 450 stock will probably go 80.
I remember
maybe 90.
My grandpa had one of those big, fat 4-wheeler, just utility 4-wheelers, and that thing would fly, but it was just a big, fat.
Oh, sorry.
It was just like a car, like a little car you sat on. And it still would haul ass.
Oh, yeah, someone put a...
Where's Oklahoma? Stackhouse.
Should be in here soon, I think, right?
Indeed. Let's just double check our sheet. 11 a.m.
I told Jimmy to call closer to 11:30. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perfect, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And again, just make yourself at home.
I'll fall asleep on this couch.
It's not bad. That one's not bad. This one's pretty bad, though.
Yeah.
This one, not as comfortable as it. It's just deep. So when I sit on this one, like I sit with my legs up like a doll. It's embarrassing.
Tom, you do any fishing with your boys?
Yeah, you do.
I mean,
Little bit.
not really. I mean, besides the last time, we usually do it in Marco off of the dock at Crystal's grandma's house, but never really on the boat. I'm just not good enough to make it interesting for them. So I'm just I'm not a fisherman, so we do it off of a dock in saltwater where they're catching a bunch of shit, but like freshwater fishing, never had any luck.
Right there. I almost stopped there on the way here this morning. The pond's over here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Y'all got a bunch of. They won't yell at you.
Somebody here?
I think you can do it. I don't know. I mean, I think I've seen people fish.
Be surprised what's holding in there. It's 4 or 5 pound bass in there. I've won tournaments off of little lakes like that, just walking bank fishing.
Oh, really?
They got new tournament series where you can bank fish.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Fishing is. My buddy Andres got into like that's all he does. It's like he seems like he's addicted to it. Like people are addicted to fishing.
Yes, that is a problem.
Yeah. Same thing with golfing. Like you find something and you get addicted to it.
Yeah. I was saltwater for a long time and I sold everything. And I just was like, man, I'm tired of driving past all these lakes. It's like, let me start this up. And just during the pandemic, you couldn't buy any fishing gear. It was all gone.
Yeah, all gone.
So I just started making it. Doing this because I don't want to cut grass anymore.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm tired.
What are you thinking?
Well, it's 11:10.
That's not like them to be late.
Yeah, so maybe they screwed up the date.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It's fine.
I didn't get a call, so we could just go ahead and record the second segment.
Works for me. I got voicemails ready to go.
Yeah, let's do voicemails. I'm talking. I saw someone's put an electric motor in a 3-wheeler.
All right, bring us back, please. In 3, 2.
Welcome back to A Corporate Time.
I got to get on that tee to fix my back. I was told. Yeah, I was told on Saturday we did our big BDM appreciation. Dealio over at Salty Sisters on the coast, and multiple listeners told me I got to get on the testosterone in order to heal my back. That it will be, I was told it will be a wonder drug. Like after the first shot, I'll got fixed, repaired. Never a problem again.
Listen, I've only heard that testosterone is a wonder drug.
I got to get on it.
If you abuse, just like anything, if you abuse it and people are like, I don't know, if you abuse it, I guess, it could be detrimental to your health. But no one has ever told me how raising your tee a couple 100 points and then, getting it, making sure you're doing it safely with a doctor and you're getting your blood test.
I just know my wife will be worried because I already run very spicy. And you have told me that this will make me like insatiably spicy, like
what happened to my buddy?
Like where I'm at, like an Applebee's, and I have to go to the bathroom because I can't contain myself anymore. I'm like, oh my god, I'm freaking out.
That happened to my friend.
I can't even order a sandwich. I got to go to the bathroom.
Now, but it's like, well, okay, that's the downfall, but you're not in pain anymore. Like, I'd take horny over pain. Any day, right?
I prefer to be horny and in pain. Horny and in pain. That's my screen name. Let's do some voicemails. If you want to leave us voicemail messages, 2 ways to do it. Super duper easy. You can call 1-844-TOMNDAN. That's 1-844-866-6326. You can also text BDM to that number and opt in for our texting service, but that's an easy way to leave a voicemail message. Also, you can get our free app with all of our it works 44% of the time. You can get our app and all of our content's on there. BDM shows, ACT shows are on there. Get it and try it. Get it and try it, and then report back to me on how good or bad it is. How about that?
Yeah, it has some glitches here and there.
Yeah, but that's part of its charm.
Yeah, mainly with Android phones, but
that's how you know it's homemade.
But you can listen to all our shows through any wherever the podcast platform so Google phone, Google Play, Apple Podcast,
Google Podcast, it's all out there.
You search our show names, it's up there.
It pops up. Airbnb, you and Sam are the true Airbnb folks on the show. I'm the newbie, right? I've just now started using the Airbnb. Here is a gentleman that is anti-Airbnb.
Hey, Tom, Dan, Sam. The other day you guys were talking about going to an Airbnb versus a hotel, and I've never been Airbnb one, so to speak, because I do not like sleeping in someone's house, that kind of scenario. And Tom was comparing it to how it's better than a hotel because it has a kitchen and stuff, but maybe it's just because I stay in hotels less frequently, but I much prefer a place where I can pick up the phone and someone brings me what I need. I can order room service, you know. I can trust that the place has been well cleaned.
Can
you? I mean, I'm definitely not staying at Quality Inns or whatever, so I don't know. For me, when I travel, like, it's just much more convenient to stay at a hotel where, like, hospitality is the point, and as opposed to just like, oh yeah, I rented out some guy's house. I hope he's not looking at me through the walls, you know. Anyway, have a good day,
if you're
guys.
paranoid, well, then yeah, stay in your hotel,
Looking
whatever.
at me through the walls.
Also, you're talking about a resort, and I think most people would rather stay at a resort than an Airbnb. Because
yeah.
I like resorts the most. But they're the most expensive, and you have to buy.
This guy's rich.
Well, yeah, you have to
Of
buy
course
resort
you don't
food.
do Airbnb.
If you're doing Airbnb, you're mostly like
Chat room
you're
is weighing
saving
in.
money.
Key West to BTM in our Twitch chat room, twitch.tv/Tom and Dan Live. She says 95% of Airbnbs I've stayed in are not clean. What say you, Airbnb man? What's your?
Listen, I've stayed in plenty of hotels that are not that clean.
I have stayed in hotels that are not clean.
in fact-
I stayed at the International Palms
Well, that
and
don't come on.
Resort and Conference Center, sir.
Dude, I've stayed at name brand
Name brand? Oh my God,
like-
Jordache? What are we talking? Jordache?
like
Mark Echo?
I didn't want to say the name of the hotel
Fubu.
franchise, but
Oh.
a giant
Comfort Inn, Holiday Inn,
billion-dollar franchise that the
Embassy Suites.
insurance convention in Orlando was at one year.
Omni.
At one of these things, and there was roaches in there,
baby German roaches.
Yes,
you
yeah.
know the German roaches,
And they were-
little tiny Nazi helmets.
and they were climbing all over like the where the entertainment cabinet is.
Well, at least they weren't on the bed. Remember when I had to sleep with the light on to keep the roaches off of me? That was, I've been traumatized because of that.
Every Airbnb I've stayed at has been as clean as I wanted it. It was never, I'm not going around.
Two live crew, as clean as we want to be. That's you.
I'm not going
right?
around with a black light. Who's
Well,
doing
we're not
that?
those type of people. We're not those type of people. I can go number one with you here and not wash my hands. We're those type of people.
If the
you
sheets
can
look
go,
washed
Yeah.
and then they look new, who cares?
If you can go number one while your business partner's here and then not wash your hands and go about your day, you're an Airbnb person.
But so to me, it's like you're saving money by renting an Airbnb, especially like if you got a family.
I like having the kitchen aspect.
Good luck renting a 2-bedroom suite of some sort with a kitchen for the same price of Airbnb in town.
Airbnb allows you to be intimate because you can put your kid in a secondary bedroom.
And it's not for everybody. If you are paranoid about people watching you, or
I'm surprised Sam even does Airbnb, to tell you the truth. And I think she inspired me to use Airbnb because I was like, if the most paranoid member of the program can use it, you can use it too, Dan.
Yeah. And
I've been burned a couple times, but for the most part, I would say that I actively use Airbnb. I'm thinking about moving over to, what is it?
VRBO.
VRBO, yeah.
It's the same thing,
I'm thinking of moving over to that.
They both, usually the listing is on both platforms, which we should put our AirTND on VRBO too. It's,
What's the difference?
Same thing.
I like the name better.
Same.
VRBO sounds fancier, right?
I think
VRBO.
Airbnb.
Airbnb sounds a little Carnival Cruise now. A little Uber, right? Uber, Airbnb, and Carnival Cruise all a little. VRBO sounds a little.
It's more for vacation
Holland,
rentals.
America.
Yeah, Airbnb is kind of like hotel, like closer to hotels than VRBO is more for vacations.
Yeah,
like if you are.
And what's the new thing they
stays.
talk about on VRBO where they're like, super private, no perverts staring at your genitals, like those commercials where they talk about it's a little more private through them, and
that's all marketing.
Oh,
There's no difference.
It works. It works
because the VRBO is the
Worked
same.
for me.
You just sign your house or vacation rental up with it. Maybe their VRBO has some more vetting, but I doubt it. I'm pretty sure it's just like the rest of them. Every time you go renting through them, you just pay a fee.
Okay.
Right. Like Airbnb is like $50 for every time you rent, whether a week, a day, whatever. You pay this one-time transaction fee. And that's how it goes, and they market it for you.
Gotcha. Let's try this one right here.
Hey, gang, it's Zach from Ohio. What is your cutlery size preference? I like The little spoon, but the long fork?
That's a great question. I use a little spoon for coffee. I use, for soup, I like a jumbo spoon. For ice cream, I like a jumbo spoon. For cereal, I like a jumbo spoon. For just normal eating, I like all my cutlery to be a little small. I like a small fork.
You know, there's something nice about a wooden spoon, right? Like when you're cooking spaghetti or whatever, like the long, stereotypical wooden spoon.
The big boy.
But then it gets stained by the spaghetti sauce.
The sauce, yes.
And then you put it in the dishwasher and it's still stained
Stays
after.
like that forever.
I'm like, well.
Tomatoes forever.
I mean, it absorbed into the wood.
Yeah.
Like, that's not sanitary, right?
Spaghetti and everything.
Like, and then
so you're baking a cake and they're using that same spoon and the chocolate icing, you know?
Yeah, everything is just getting absorbed into the wood.
Yeah.
So is that?
But I don't like plastic. I very much do not like plastic cooking implements, especially when you're using them and then the edge of, like, let's say said spatula.
Yeah,
you're using the spatula. And you're using it to flip things, and the edge melts a little bit, and you're like, well, that can't be good.
Yeah.
Well, like there's some vapors. Where did the vapors go? Right?
Oh yeah.
And then you can peel. You peel the little piece of plastic at the top. It gets a little crunchy, and it melts and you peel it off, and you're like, well, now we're back to good. We're brand new. I fixed it. I fixed it.
And you're like, how much of this stuff did I eat?
Yeah. So we use a lot of wooden spoons. Normally, there was a while when every company would give them away as like giveaways, like cheap giveaways. So I'd steal them from the radio station. So I have thousands of wooden spoons with people's logos. I got Chick-fil-A. I got a Merrill Lynch. I got them all. VRBO. I got all the wooden spoons. I use those, and then I use metal. And I have one favorite spatula that the coating on the outside must have been deteriorated, broke down.
Yeah.
And now it's starting to rust. And I have to scrub the rust off, and then I use it, and I put it in the dishwasher, and it rusts again. I scrub the rust all off, and I'm it's good, it's good. Will the rust hurt me in any way?
No, I think rust is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, I think people used to ingest rust all the time on
metal,
everything. Yeah. Like, everything was more rusty.
If I ate a piece of metal right now, it would rust in my stomach, right?
Yeah, it's fine. You're fine. No problem.
Okay.
I think rust and metal would be healthy for
What
you.
size cutlery do you use? Do you have the boys set the table every night?
Hell no.
Do they set the table? Do you ever do that?
No.
We have Maisie set the table every night.
No.
She got to get out the napkins. She's got to tear. Well, we don't have napkins. We're also trash. What do trash people use for napkins? Paper towels. Every trash person uses paper towels. It's like using white bread for hot dogs. It's just what you do. It's what you do.
Yeah.
So Maisie will rip 3 paper towels, and then and it's always terrible. It's always like she doesn't know what to do, but we make her do it. She just goes through the motions, and then she makes us little cups of water.
Oh yeah, you're better parents. Yeah. I think
she just does it, dude. I'm not doing. You think I'm doing?
You told her to do it.
No, I did not.
She's just doing it herself without.
She'll just do it.
Yeah.
She's like, I set the table.
Oh yeah, my son. No, we're always behind with everything. I said we're yelling them do their homework, do their reading. We're too far. They're asking for 5 more minutes. Then we're eating. They're like, I don't want to eat. And then we're like, no dessert. And then later on, they're like, I'm starving. And then I feel
have
bad.
Your dessert.
And then I cook them an egg sandwich. And then they're saying it's 9:30 at night. They're eating an egg sandwich. Because I'm so weak.
I like that. I support
that. No. And I yell at them. And then Tommy tells me the new thing is, he's like, all you care about is us being tough. And then I'm like, and they're like, you don't care about anything else. And then I'm like,
he says that?
He's saying that while he's eating his egg sandwich at 9:30. And then I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, if I was strict on you,
you would not be eating
Yeah. I'm just trying to tell you about toughness, and then you were complaining about that. You understand how ridiculous it is? Like, you're bitching that all I talk about is you being tougher and like me wanting them to be tough, and like they're like, that's all you care about. And I'm like,
that's all you care about. This is a delicious egg sandwich.
At 9:30 at night, I'm massaging your feet.
More cheese, please.
Anyway, so I realize you can't win because if I actually implemented the stuff I needed to do to make them more tough, they can't handle it because I made them weak.
Yeah. You got to knock off the sandwiches.
I know.
Even Miss Pat told you that. Let's try this one right here.
Hey guys, it's BDM Eric in Minnesota, and I'm listening to the April 17th show titled Risky Tom, and you guys got talking about the Inspire sleep device and how nobody knows what it does, and now I'm the one that's going nuts here listening to you guys talk. My wife has had one of these for about 2 years now. She always struggled with sleep apnea. She did the mouthpieces and the CPAPs and just never really would continue to wear them because they're such a pain in the butt. About 2 years ago, she got the Inspire, and I can tell you it has been completely life-changing for her, and
That's awesome.
Also for me, because she doesn't have the apnea and the snoring anymore. It is basically like a pacemaker type implant, and they run a couple electrical leads. One goes to your lungs, so it can tell when you're breathing or not breathing.
And the other goes to the green wire in the ceiling fan.
Then the other one actually goes up to your tongue. So what happens is when the thing senses that you're having an episode and not breathing, it sends a little electrical jolt to your tongue, which moves
Wait a minute. Can you hotwire that thing for other purposes? You know what I mean? Hey, let's get inspired here.
Oh, shock tongue.
tongue and opens up your airway so you can breathe. So it's pretty brilliant. It does have the little remote control, like Dan said. You turn it on. It's got like a 20, 30-minute timer. Then it kicks in, and there'll be times when like she'll fall asleep snoring, and that thing will kick in and just boom, silence, just like totally normal breathing. So it's completely game-changing if you have apnea. One of the restrictions is it's not, they don't have it tested. I don't think it's approved for very obese people. So if you're a larger person.
Oh, well, that's what it's for.
Yeah.
I mean, skinny people traditionally do not snore, right?
Well, yeah, that's a stereotype. Although I've seen it with Turkey Leg, he was rail thin his entire life, snoring.
That's true. Yeah, he's always been a bone.
Yeah.
That guy, even now, I mean.
Yeah. He's got the stereotypic mechanic big Duke, but he's
count.
got a sunken chest. He eats soup out of it.
You're so mean.
No, it's like
You're so mean.
Like you ride a BMX. I was trying to jump
like a
to the
skate
hump.
park.
Anyway,
Jump to the hump.
He and then he's always scream snored. But how did they sell the fact that, like, hey, we're going to implant this tiny electrical device?
One wire goes to your butt, the other to your tongue.
Your tongue, and it's going to shock your tongue to keep you from snoring. Like, it must be, I mean, I'm sure you can't feel it, right?
No! Oh, my God, he has shocked my tongue.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is really, really neat.
I wonder how much it costs.
Probably a lot, but insurance does it, right? It's like $4,000 or something, you know?
Well, if it's not tested, then maybe insurance doesn't, handle it. Because usually it's hard for insurance to pay. Like, insurance will pay for a CPAP, but it took a while before they allow.
Well, maybe they just need to make a bigger one for bigger people, right? That's what I would think.
Well, I mean, if it works, like, I mean,
it's a little scary, though, right? Having a thing in there that shocks your tongue to keep you from snoring, that's scary. A little bit.
Yeah, well, as opposed to just some mask you wear. Now you're doing a surgical implant.
Yeah.
People are more scared about that. But I guess if it's, like, where do they even put it in? Like,
it's like on the commercial, it appears to be, like, right over your heart.
Well, he said one goes to your tongue, so it's got to be oral surgery, right, or in your mouth of some sort. Or
I'm sure it's the tiny, like, what do they call that? Orthoscopic, where they probably just run a tiny wire up to the back of your tongue. I don't even know what the wire. How big is the wire? I'm thinking like the wire in like your standard calculator. When you know what I mean, like a little. I'm thinking of that, and it's got to be tiny.
Yeah. They probably do it outpatient, right? There's,
don't know.
They have to do it outpatient to be able to afford it because you go to the hospital, you're not going under general anesthesia and all that. So I'm sure you just go to office, they give you some Twilight, and
how do they test it? How do they know it's running?
Probably sleep studies involved. I mean, this thing has got to be $5,000, right?
Probably more.
For that kind of procedure to be done.
More.
And then how often do you have to like change out the devices? Because even a pacemaker has to be changed. What do 10
they
years?
look like?
A pacemaker?
Yeah. How big is it? Is it tiny?
It used to be bigger, but I think it's pretty small.
You know,
now.
I found my dog's microchip, Dansby. I found his microchip.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, this thing should be smaller. This is ginormous.
Well, for animals,
It's big.
They
It's
give you
a
the
big
one, yeah.
microchip. I
Yeah,
feel it in his back. I was like, couldn't you have lowered that a little bit so I don't feel it? I feel like they should take it out and do it again. Get it lower so I can't feel it. Do a good job. Take some pride in your work.
All the human stuff, they got pretty small. You know, for the dogs, I'm pretty sure they're using 80s technology in dogs. You know, 'cause
Yeah.
no one
It
cares.
looks like the chip that like a Russian spy would put in his butt. You know,
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, here we go. Let's do one more.
Tom, Dan, Sam, BDM Mike, listen to Friday Free Show talking about the largest piece of animal turd outside the office. I work downtown, and both on the front side of the building and the back side of the building, someone has taken a giant Golden Corral turd. 2 of them. Ridiculous. Anyways, BDM for life. Love you guys.
You know what made me laugh? This has nothing to do with anything other than I just love a good, unfortunate, like homeless person doing where they shouldn't. And you know, everybody was all up in arms about grills taking Bud Light off their menu or whatever. And like, whatever, I don't care. Everybody's getting all freaked out about it. But in the thread, it popped up on my feed. There was just a person sitting there eating like French toast from like their like morning like brunch, and there's a homeless lady sitting there. You're like up against the wall taking a crap while they're eating, and I was like, "Yeah, there it is." It's so great.
Yeah. It's
I love a good public homeless poo-poo store. I love it.
Well, it happens.
It makes me laugh.
In other countries a lot more, depending on where you are. Like India has a problem with it.
I've seen it. I saw it on Colonial one time. Remember that guy on a bike?
It's because it's funny to us because we're just like
it always makes me laugh.
We're a civilized society. And we think we're all just animals anyway. And
it's the gray
in the
leveler,
wild we
right?
do
It's the gray leveler.
But we all think we're all too good for everything, and then some unfortunate people.
Oh, but have a stomachache problem, and you got to go.
Yeah. And then there's
We're
no
all
place.
the same.
There's no place for them to go.
No, gotta go.
They have no place. That's the point.
What am I supposed to do?
So it's like there's a going in the wild, which is our cities, and just out in public.
Gotta do it.
And,
hey, she was near the lake. It's fine.
I mean, we're lucky it's not a more of an issue, and there's trenches, and there's other parts of the world.
There are trenches.
There are trenches.
You don't want to go in any trenches. Trenches are bad.
Yeah. It's like a
trenches
real bad trench.
Stenches. Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah. And so we'd have to deal with that. It's just every once in a while in more populated urban areas.
Yeah.
Like
you get an outlier. You get a problem.
Yeah.
It bubbles over.
It's on the walls. It's everywhere. It's on the floor. All right.
We got to go.
Okay. We'll be right back.
All right. Great.
All right.
All right. And I got your boy. Come on in here, man. I got him. Come on in. Thanks for bearing with us today, too, man.
Good, man. I enjoy listening to it. Y'all keep me.
All right. Let's see if I got him.
Hours and hours on the motor listening to y'all.
Jimmy! Can you see us and hear us? All right, there it is. Jimmy, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, and we can hear you too. Looks good, man. Hey, thanks for the time. We appreciate it. Let me turn on.
Absolutely.
Let me turn on Jason's mic here. Jason, can you hear? Do you have your headphones? Yep, you got them. All right, we're going to have to bounce between you guys today because there's Jason. And there is Jimmy. All right. And just to get it right again, because Jason told me your charity is Heartland Canine for Veterans, correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. Right. We'll talk a little bit about that. This is a weird job, correct?
Yes.
I don't know why
Yeah, this will be for Wednesday 1.
Okay. So Jimmy, hold on 1 second. We're going to start with Jason, and then we'll pull you in, okay?
Roger that.
Hold on, man. Here we go. Mr. Van, do you want to begin?
Let's do it.
Here we go. 3, 2.
Welcome to A Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan.
Real quick, let's see what we got going on this weekend.
Feels nice not having an event.
I know, yeah.
It does feel nice. We had a great event out at Salty Sisters. Thanks to all the BDM members that showed up. You guys are the best. You never cease to amaze me with your kindness and your love, and you're just good folks. I love our BDM members, man.
Yeah, I know we've got some things going on with the Orlando Science Center.
Yes, sir.
OSC.org for all the upcoming events. And I know that we may or may not be doing a charity event coming up soon.
Yeah.
We're putting a bunch of things
I forgot that's on deck.
together.
Right?
Yeah.
That's next. So, yeah, there'll be
late June.
If you like fun charity events, and we do, in my opinion, some of the best, well, you'll have something to look forward to.
Let's do some weird job.
Tom wanted to do a bit. He called it Weird Job Wednesday. Dan really likes it. Tom says that's bullshit. It's another Weird Job Wednesday. What are you doing? What is your job? Are you neat? Are you tidy? Or are you a fat slob? Do you make lots of money and you sit up in your tower looking down on all the people who are working by the hour? It's a Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Oh yes, it's Weird Job Wednesday. Just another Weird Job Wednesday. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.
Weird Job Wednesday brought to you by Modern Plumbing Industries.
Hey, I got to call them modernpi.com.
Use Tom and Dan promo code for 10% off your service when you talk to them.
I got problems.
So
I got poo-poo problems. Got to call them.
We've got Jason on the couch with us. How you doing, Jason?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
And also Jimmy on Zoom. How you doing, Jimmy?
What's up?
So, so I guess we'll start with you, Jason. So, tell us about what your weird job is.
I make custom jigs for a living.
Okay.
I also do landscaping, but on the side I do my custom jig business.
Okay.
And what is the name of your custom jig business?
Naughty Reels Outdoors.
Hey, I get it. Naughty
So,
Reels.
yeah. So, what is a custom jig?
It's a bass jig. Basically any weight, 3 ounce, quarter ounce, swimming jigs, flipping jigs, anything you need to get you wherever you need those bass are.
So it's a fishing lure.
Yeah, so specifically for bass. They have them for crappie too, but they go down smaller in size.
Okay.
Why did it get the term jig? Does
You-
anybody know that?
You got
I might
me
have
on
to look
one.
that up.
Yeah.
Hold on, Joe. It's on Google.
I'm gonna look it up.
How did you never look it up? This is your
Listen,
business.
I started during the pandemic when I couldn't find anything. It got ridiculous, so I just started making them.
Okay. So what are they consisted of? Like, I know bass lures where like it's either a little minnow. There's shiners.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna guess. Now, jig is an old term for a lively dance, and because this dance is on the top of the water, I'm gonna guess that that's why it got its name.
You fish these down at the bottom.
Oh, these are
okay,
okay.
okay.
So
Basically,
anyway, but the fact that it moves,
You jig them.
Okay.
yeah,
basically.
So dancing.
You
yeah,
dan-
that's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
guess. That's why it got its name.
Yeah. You
Okay.
dance it on the bottom, basically.
So
That's what you want to go with.
So what's the difference between a jig and then is a minnow like I've seen the minnow ones that like
Yeah, those are soft plastics.
Okay.
These are made out of lead. They're poured from lead, and then we tie skirts on them. You do
Okay.
3 to 4 skirts, it just depends on your specifications.
Okay, so go through what makes a good jig, and then when you said you started this during the pandemic, basically the internet was sold out of
Well, just
fishing
the
lures.
stores basically. You
Okay.
go in the stores right before they shut everything down, and I couldn't get anything. It was just a problem.
Because everybody was out fishing because people
Everybody
are like,
turned into fishermen, and
Yeah.
I kind of did too. I was basically saltwater, and during the pandemic, I just got tired of driving.
I don't know if everybody was out fishing or if everybody was just out buying all
No,
the
they were
fishing
buying.
equipment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I
That's
didn't
exactly
see
what
around
happened.
here, Lake Baldwin,
Yeah.
it wasn't like you couldn't stand on the edge because there were people like it was like everybody just bought this stuff because everybody did decide, well, I'm going to
so
buy
toilet paper, fish. People started buying it, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, they're buying it all up,
all the gas."
Yeah. So there's probably a lot to do with. There's like, "Oh my God, they're buying. I'm not going to be able to find it. They're buying it up, but they never fish because their old lady yelling at them, and they're like, they got no time. Plus, it's hot, and they're morbidly obese.
Like you look like a fisherman, but I've got most of my friends that are bigger guys. They'll stand out there for maybe 20 minutes.
So Jason, explain to me how to make a jig and what's considered a good jig.
First off, you take your lead, you melt it down, pour it in a mold.
Now, is that dangerous because of lead and lead poisoning and all? Or?
Yeah, you want to be in a well-vented area for sure. It's not something you really want to breathe in.
You're sitting there in your guest bathroom melting your lead.
Pouring
it over the toilet. And a little falls in there and stains the bottom of your toilet.
So you get some lead for weight, and then all right, what's next?
From there you go, you cure it, and then you paint it. I do whatever colors you need. I airbrush everything, and then I hand tie 'em with braided line, instead of your basic what's in stores, your copper wire, your wire tying. Everything is handmade from beginning to end with me.
Okay. So you got some lead weights, and then you said there's a skirt on there. What does that look like? It's supposed to mimic what?
It's a doll for fish. It's a little doll for fish.
You're supposed to. It's supposed to mimic crawfish.
Okay.
And then you have swimming jigs as well. Those imitate bait fish. So I mean, it just depends on where you're at in the season, what's spawning. If there's shad spawn, you want to do maybe a swim jig or something. You want to throw swim jigs down a grass line or something. You want to swim those.
Oh, Jimmy's got one. Hold on, he's holding one up there. Hold on, I gotta go to Jimmy now.
Yeah, there you go.
Jimmy's got one. Appreciate Jimmy sitting there patiently, and he's like, you know what? Rather than hurt the conversation, I'm going to help the conversation by bringing in like a visual aid.
And we'll talk with Jimmy in a minute because his company's Heartland Canine for Veterans.
Yeah, Heartland Canine for Veterans. Yeah, you want to talk about that now?
Yeah, we
jump over to that.
So when you started this business, did it take off automatically? How'd you market yourself?
Just basically through Facebook. Just, I made some and then just put them out there and just slowly started building. People took a notice to it, and then from that I just built a website, and I had some other fishermen reach out to me, wanted to start like a pro staff program. I started that, and now we're here. We teamed up with Heartland.
Now, when you say you built a website, you mean your nerdy nephew?
Yeah.
They just graduated.
You did it.
100%. Everything is done by me.
You built a website? How'd you build it?
I have no idea, to be honest.
What'd you use? Squarespace
you
or something?
Wix?
I got it's all through Shopify. I did everything through the Shopify.
Damn you, Shopify!
Okay,
You're making dum-dums.
Just say you got a Shopify. Because then I put two and two together.
Well, wait
Jason.
a minute. Why are you going to knock him down a peg? Why can't he?
I'm not smart enough to build a website,
Where's your website?
Well, Jason makes me look bad because all of the Jason's
Wait a minute. Why is he making you look bad to come in here and talk about his business?
Well, because when you... Okay, well,
he's not stealing your shine.
No. But
he's not stealing your shine, sir. Give him his flowers.
Yeah, I need my flowers, Tom.
To steal that from Bill Bellamy, guessed it. Go listen to that.
That's like when you say like you built a website, everybody thinks
you're in there writing the code.
You're actually building a website.
There is an aspect of that you have to do with Shopify that I did have to learn, but I mean it's pretty much
in your face, Tom.
Follow.
You see what he just did?
There's a lot of following
in your face.
It's one step I've seen it
I
before.
bet Jimmy. Hold on, where's Jimmy? Jimmy, can you make a website?
Yes.
Well, Jimmy works for a charity. I think
face.
Jason's a landscaper. He's a jig
Both
maker.
of these guys. Jimmy made a website. Jason made a website. You're weak.
Because
you are weak.
They're like, oh, Tom, you don't know nothing about computers. I'm like, no one knows nothing. And then only a certain percentage of the world knows. And then you go to that, and then they do it.
Don't let him.
Oh, I'm not worried about
it.
I
can go to Shopify and sign up, and then put in my email address.
So Jason,
and then I just put they're like, insert JPEG here, and take a picture. And insert the JPEG.
It's harder
They're
than
like,
that.
what price do you want to sell? You put the price. You put the description. No, I'm just saying. Jason knows. It's just putting the price and description. You're not writing.
How did you meet Jimmy, and how did you link up with doing the, and helping out for
Jimmy reached out to me
for Canine for Veterans.
Jimmy reached out to me as a member. He signed up as a member. I have a membership page there if y'all want to subscribe to that or anything.
Oh, nice, like BDMs.
Yep, we do a whole thing.
Very cool.
That we do tournaments. We use Fish On Tourney as we partner with them as well, so you get points for that, and that's a whole nother thing. But I met Jimmy. He reached out, became a member, and then from that he talked to me about Heartland, and then here we are. I ended up doing a specific jig for them called the Heartland. It's red, white, and blue, all the proceeds from that jig go straight to Heartland.
Yeah,
cool.
So Jimmy, tell us a little bit about Heartland, what Heartland does, and how our listeners can help out.
Absolutely. So Heartland Canines for Veterans been around since 2015, so more than a week, which is awesome. You know, it's tough to find out of nonprofits nowadays because everyone wants to help. They just don't know how to help.
Right.
But we provide service dogs, trained service dogs for veterans. So it's an amazing program. The VA recognizes service dogs as like prosthetics. So
nice.
The ability to give veterans an avenue that can keep them from maybe using medications and put them back into public and back living their life. You know, it's amazing. I've got my service dog here. She's laying down by my feet.
Aww.
And yeah, it's awesome. It's a great program. We veterans will reach out to us, say they're looking for a service dog. So we kind of vet them. We make sure that a service dog would be good because obviously we want to look out for the dogs too. We want to put them in a good home to be a good team member. Then we provide the training for the veterans and for the dogs, which are just important to know both. And then we put them out in public, you know, giving them opportunities to re-engage in life and be productive members of society.
What are most of these dogs, if you don't mind me asking?
What's the breed?
Yeah. What would you say most of the dogs breed?
So really, it varies on the needs of the veteran. A lot of the dogs we use, like I have a golden retriever. I could probably bring the computer down so you can see Riley down here.
Riley,
down there laying down.
Riley.
Yeah, y'all can follow her on Facebook too, Riley the Service Dog.
Riley,
she's got her own page.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we've got golden retrievers. We use full-size poodles, Newfoundlands, Great Danes, obviously German Shepherds.
A Great Dane can be a service dog?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So honestly, it's really the needs of the veteran, you know, depending if the veteran's facing PTSD or anxiety issues or has mobility issues and then they need a bigger breed. We're there to provide that for them.
But
that's awesome.
Here's this is why I get mad at Crystal and my family when they beg for a dog. Is because I like.
Wait a minute, what's that have to do with it?
It's all going somewhere. I promise.
Hey, look,
Jamie just
I always look at it like this. I always look at it like
Jason
this. We're doing some good by getting the word out about the charity, no matter what.
No
matter what, Heartland K9 for veterans. We getting the word out.
As I'm hearing Jimmy talk,
mad about his wife.
It's all about Tom.
Well, that's I'm sorry. Listen, I want to help. I just have to yell for a second.
Jimmy got him.
Because Jimmy's talking about all these purebred dogs that are awesome, and because they are awesome, right? And because
I have
my wife,
I have a West Highland. He's awesome.
And then someone went to the BDM event, and they're like, "Look at our new dog."
Oh, the golden retriever. Oh, that was Lincoln.
And it looks like
beautiful. His name was Lincoln. He was a beautiful puppy.
I mean, it's perfect. It's the American dream.
Yeah, he's the American dream. I mean, he looked like the only thing more American would have been an American flag. Like it was. He was sitting there next to a cold beer in the sun. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, and then
not a Bud Light though.
My wife only wants to go rescue the dogs at the pound.
The lumpy wrinkle
dogs. I think a lumpy, bitey bulldog at the pound, and then we gotta go cage by cage and find the lumpiest one to save. And then you got something.
It's gonna be so. And it's gonna have a stink mouth.
And you can't do nothing. Yeah, so our teeth are all rotten already. And then it's like, well, there's a reason it's in this cage because no one wanted it. And then so why do we have to get these? And then she's like, oh, it's because he needed a home, and we need to save the unfortunates.
All the good ones are going to the veterans, like they should.
No, there's you can pay for good ones.
We get a lot of people that reach out to us. You know, they're like, hey, see what you do for Heartland and stuff. Found this dog under the highway overpass. Do you think you can make it a service dog? It's like, Probably not.
Of course not,
Jimmy.
It's already too old.
He's not BSing over here.
Because you have to train a service dog from birth, basically, when they're a puppy. So once they're already been burned by a million cigarettes, and they're 8 years old, and they're in the goddamn jail.
Oh, that thing's gonna be shaking under your bed.
That's a real thing. You know, I mean, national average to train a service dog is between $10,000 and $30,000, depending on the training for the dog. You know, we provide this to veterans at no cost.
That's awesome.
And we rely on all the donations and contributions and grants and some of the programs that we run. And I feel like it's my responsibility to make sure that we're going to put a dog in that we know that's going to have a good, healthy life, that's going to, you know, be able to train really well, that's going to be able to be a good contributing team member to this team that we're creating. And if we're getting all this money donated to us in different forms and fashions, we want to make sure that that money's going to the right dog. You know, we'd hate for it. You know, I've had people all the time, oh, it's a great dog for me, but it's got a little bit tough time in public. It's like, well, that's kind of tough to train out. And it's possible, obviously, but what goes into that to actually be able to do that for the dogs and for the veterans, you know, we got to think wisely in it. It's not that we look down on dogs that are, coming from different locations, but I've just got to ensure that the dog that's going to be provided for the veteran is going to be able to do the job, do it right, and live a good, healthy life.
And good for the dog too. I mean, that's the terrible part is that it's a two-way dance, right? Like, if you got the veteran solved, you know, it may not match the dog, and you want it to be perfect and all the way across the board.
You can't be giving a veteran a lumpy pit bull.
Don't give him a lumpy pit bull.
It's already got stage 3 lumps.
Don't they deserve a little better than that?
It's bite crazy.
The guy is battling PTSD. Watch his family and friends die, and you're going to give him a lumpy pit bull? No, sir, not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Like, sometimes you have an unfortunate life. That's life. This is the lumpy pit bull. You had a bad go at it. It just can't be saved. Now you just leave it in jail.
Now you could make an argument, though, that it is your duty to take those lumpy pit bulls so the soldiers can have the better dog.
No, the soldiers can get their.
And then the soldiers look you in the eye.
No, Jimmy's doing it.
They say thank you for your service. Thank you for taking the lumpy pit bull.
Just leave the lumpy pit bulls where they're at. I'm sorry, they can't be saved. And my wife just wants to save them all. Like, we want this dog.
You're getting one. You're getting one for sure.
So we do have a good trainer that does do, just normal obedience training. You know, service dogs are really specialized. So out in the world, there are 3 different types of dogs. You have service dogs, and you have therapy dogs, and you have emotional support dogs, aka pets.
Gotcha.
Oh, get them.
So,
get them, Jimmy.
I'm telling you, I'm pretty vicious about that. Just because when I see when I go to the Cracker Barrel and I see Aunt Susan feeding her Chihuahua French fries off the table, it's a service dog. It's like, no, lady. I didn't know class was in session today, but it's time to talk. And I tell
that French poor icy red.
I would give anything to see Jimmy with no smile on his face, just pouring an unsweetened ice.
I've just got one of those natural looks, and then I start throwing in the knife hand, and they're like, "Oh."
Does it? It bothers the crap out of you because
you start kicking the rusty saws off the wall.
Let's be honest. It makes your life a lot harder, and it makes the servicemen who have these emotional support animals or service dogs. It makes all of it a lot harder when people abuse it. Correct?
Yeah, and unfortunately it happens a lot. And especially when people love their pets, they want to bring their pets, but there's just something different about what a service dog actually does. And, businesses, they feel kind of pinched by the Americans with Disabilities Act about what they can say and what they can ask and how they can approach that conversation. So I just tell these organizations, believe in us, have us do that conversation for you. I'm not looking to take anything away from anyone that wants to have a service dog or feels like they have a need for a service dog, but we got to get a handle on it. And that's why with like the veterans that are coming through our program too, the biggest thing is on our vetting side. So I want to make sure that we're going to have veterans that the first question that we always ask veterans that are looking to come into our program are you willing to be the center of attention? because, 'cause sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. So we have to be able to teach, de-escalation techniques, how to have that conversation with, you know, uh, Susan behind the register that doesn't know
Right.
anything about service dogs, that wants
Sure.
to run her mouth a little bit, how you can direct that conversation into education, how you can let them know that, this is a legitimate service dog. So what we've done, like for our service dogs now, what we just got copyrighted is called the bark code, which is an actual QR code that'll be on our service dogs. So if anybody has any questions, they can just put their phone right up to this QR code and show all the services that the dog does.
Wow, that's
If they have
great.
any questions, it's got our contact information on there, because I feel that's my responsibility, is to have that conversation. I want these veterans to be able to go into public, feel confident that they're not going to get, past a level of harassment or questioning that's going to be uncomfortable to them. And what can I do to help, add some more legitimacy to the service dog program, because a lot of it has gotten out of control. And I'm the first one that'll step up to plate for, big organizations that just don't know how to have that conversation. So we provide the education, we
That's
show
awesome.
demonstrations.
Jimmy, I feel like Susan has already ruined it for everybody, because now anytime I see a service dog and you don't have giant dark glasses on, I'm at least already questioning it. I'm just like, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you better have big grandpa dark glasses on to walk in.
You better live crazy.
Because if not, I'm just immediately, because of Susan, I'm like,
They've ruined it.
I'm like, wait a minute, what service is this dog
I
doing?
never get asked. And that's probably because of the disgruntled look on my face.
Well, because Jimmy, I can see your piece on next to your T-shirt too tight.
I can tell in your beard.
I'm not questioning nothing.
I can see by your beard that you are a man of few words.
Yeah. Anyway, Jimmy, I want to get back to talking to Jason about Naughty Reels, but again, where can people
I use his jigs all the time.
find your charity?
Yeah, how can our listeners help out if they want to, help you guys out?
Well, the biggest thing is, so I sent you guys a link that goes to, we've got Veteran and First Responder Appreciation Night coming up for the Joplin Outlaws.
Nice.
Which is a Mink League baseball team. So if you're not familiar with Mink League baseball team, it's college kids that play college ball but still want to play in the off season. So they play for these different teams.
Oh, wow.
And we've got Joplin Outlaws here. So this is my 5th year running it for them. And they can actually get on and find, they can go to our Facebook page at Heartland, or they can go to our website, www.heartlandcanines.org, and that's the K9s.org.
Gotcha.
And you can actually find links on there to go to this baseball game. And what we're doing is, people from all over the nation, anywhere they want, if they have a veteran or a first responder that they knew or know that they want to endorse for this, they can get on there and buy a ticket for them. Even if they can't attend the game, they buy a ticket for them. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that name and their branch of service on an actual placard that's going to go on one of the seats.
Oh, that's cool.
At the baseball game. And we're going to get a big drone picture, and we're going to get individual pictures, and we're going to put up our website. And it's our way for people to be able to help out at, completely tax-free, where everything's going to us, everything's going to Heartland.
And they don't even need to be there. That's great. That's really cool, man. And it's also like a nice tip of the hat to maybe a little honor.
You guys don't let Coast Guard in there, do you? You can't be a Coast Guard. I mean,
dude, I'll tell you, there's some hardcore Coast Guard guys out there that can hit a target from a long range.
That's a joint, right?
I mean, they might wear their hands a little bit tight, but that's, whatever.
Yeah, I gotta hit a true
I know where you're going to toe the company line, Jimmy, but we all know what the Coast Guard do.
Hey,
they're out there surfing fish whistle.
Jimmy, thank you so much for the time, man. Thanks for all that you do for the charity, and we appreciate it. And hey, if you ever need, to beat the drum about something like the game, again, it's June 17th. Then hit us up, okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
All
I
right.
appreciate you guys.
All right, man.
And Jason, you're a rock star too, my man.
Yeah, appreciate you, Jimmy.
All right,
Thanks,
man. We'll talk to you soon. That is Jimmy live from, it looks like his kitchen, and he will kill you. He will kill you.
So, Jason, back to Naughty Reels. So, what do these things sell for? And my next question is going to be
sell for a lot, because anytime I hear handmade, I'm like, jack that price up.
Hey, I keep it simple. I
I keep it at $5 across the board.
Really?
For everything, yeah. I'm not looking to be rich.
I am.
I
want to be rich.
You're not looking to be rich.
I want to be stinking rich. I want to be so rich that somebody.
Jason,
listen,
are you crazy?
You don't get rich off this business. It's
you can though.
You can. It's gonna take the time. It's been a year and a half right now, and where I'm at in a year and a half is absolutely incredible. In this business and how big it's gotten in the last 2 years since the pandemic.
Well, how can we get these things made in China?
They're not going to be what I'm making.
No, hold on. Well, there's going to be some corners cut here, Jason.
Some children make
we need to
That's
get
how
these
you save the money. Tiny fingers. You need tiny fingers.
I can bring some down to the senior center, get them to tie them.
No. They charge you too much, and then there's regulation. We need to get these things straight from the factory in China, and we get them in a crate, and they come.
Have
they'll
you ever
make
done
them
a
for
premium one and charge a little bit more?
Not yet. I got a couple people interested in some really different ideas that I might start going that way. Might $7-8.
Yeah. Is there technology you can throw at this, or is this a real tried and true? These you can't really make them any better. They are what they are.
I mean, you can do it on a bigger process in a plant, but as far as me, I'm in my garage.
We gotta get it to the plant, Jason.
In my bedroom.
Not everybody wants the plant.
Tying, making my hands bleed every night. Tying hundreds of jigs.
I think he just likes doing it like old school.
No, we need to get these factory, an army of children. They'll put the American flag and the whole thing. Anything you put, they'll
make funny names
whatever you
them.
want. I know some Chinese factory
just
guys.
Like fireworks. You get them funny names like Saddam's Revenge.
Don't you want a badass giant basketball? Listen,
do you have a truck? You look like a truck man. But wouldn't you want to have one of those?
Seth bought a new truck. I got to show you.
A new truck?
Yeah. A new.
Why he had a Raptor?
What
happened to the Raptor?
Who knows? He maybe has that too. He's like, I did something, and he's there standing in front of this big yellow truck.
A yellow truck. Oh my God! Was he going backwards in time?
Yeah, he's like, I can't wait to put skulls on it.
Oh my God! And then I saw him drive his motorcycle over to the jungle so he could do a little photo shoot.
So Jason, I guess it kind of takes away the whole handmade in the garage for charity, American-made thing. Yeah. But business-wise, we're having a business conversation now. We need to get the design. I got some Chinese factory guys, and they could just pump these things out.
With the name,
37 cents a piece.
With the name Naughty Reels Outdoors, I feel like we need some silicone. Breast. We need some laser.
I'm already working on that.
Yeah. I got some models. Harder to find nowadays.
Models where then the hook is in the bikini. It's pulling the bikini off.
Yeah. And then it's kind of like what were the bucked up girls? There was some other thing like that. There's like
I think bucked up's still a thing.
There was bucked up girl team, and then there was the Salt Life girl team.
Look
at that. Yeah. Like, have you seen the owner of Salt Life and bucked up?
They're
rich.
The owner of Salt Life
is like a murderer.
Yeah. I'm not sure I want to go that route.
Well, I gotta wait for things got too big.
There's human trafficking involved.
He was gonna be a murderer anyway. It's just he got rich before. Anyway, back to getting them mass produced. So, is there any other way to build this to the next level?
Yeah, I'm just keep getting it out there. It's a super slow process, honestly. I'm doing no paid advertising. It's all strictly done right out of my Facebook from me. Everything is done by me. There's no paid advertisement anywhere.
Well,
I've grown it completely organically.
Jason, let me partner with you and take
you
take
have
this to the
going
next
on.
level. No. This is how this is like Dice Man. When I talk to him, he's got his hands in a bunch of different businesses.
He's hurting.
No, I know, but he just all he does, just like the Shark Tank guys, they have their hand in all these different businesses.
So you think the key to our business is for you to angel invest into?
No, it's not really an investment. It's more of as we get shares in Jason's company.
He never said that.
He's
never said that.
But no,
he's never mentioned shares.
I'm still very poor.
But this guy is rich. I'm telling you.
So you're gonna steal shares of his company right now while he's poor.
No, not steal shares. We partner, and I bring my expertise.
What are we helping?
No, we bring our expertise into our connections. This is like the Shark Tank guys. They use their business connections to get the people into like the QVC. Remember that one
Wonderful.
girl?
I have 3 varietals of wine that I sell on QVC.
One of them's got like QVC connections, and they're like, if you partner with me, I'll get you into QVC. And they're like, oh yeah, I like that. And then Mark,
I guarantee
Cuban's
Jason does not want his lures on QVC. These are not QVC
We've
lures,
got the.
right?
Not at all.
Well,
No,
hold on, but you don't know. You put it out
I
there.
think you're sucking the life out of Naughty Real.
Well, that's how you do. Well, that's how
I
you.
mean, if someone wants to put in an order that big, I'm not.
What? We'll put in 10,000 lures.
Yeah.
And then we'll.
Is that not what you're looking to do, or?
I'd love to build it, but I want to build it the right way. I don't want to build it off.
Yeah, you don't want to look. We only specialize in the wrong way.
Fishermen,
the fast way.
Fishermen are very specific people.
Yeah.
And when it comes to
But they can't be tricked easily.
Yeah,
I know
well,
fishermen. All you need to do is put the American flag skirt on it. We're going to build in China.
If you put Made in America on it, it's gone.
And the website.
It's gone. Andrea's dad's a fisherman. You put Made in America on it, they're gone.
No.
Buy them all.
There's rules against that. You can't really say Made in America. But now
I don't know who made that rule up. I can say anything I want. Fake news.
That's what I said.
Fake news.
Yeah.
What are you going to do to me?
And Jason, the website will have you in your garage.
And what are we talking about?
Then,
if the package says Made in America, and if that package was Made in America, it's still true.
What
are we
talking
talking
about? The package and the lure, tiny on the hook, it says China.
Yeah. No, it doesn't say China. It says China. China.
Yeah. Well, we're pandering to a demographic.
Yeah, we are pandering.
And then they'll laugh. If they see it, they'll laugh. And then,
China.
And then the package Made in America, we'll just have to package
Still
them.
spends the same.
But technically, I think there's parts of Mexico that are that you could say America. I've heard that you can have factories
what we do
right
is
on the border.
We buy a
All
town.
the employees
we buy
are-
a town in Mexico. We just name it America.
Yeah, there we go.
Can you put it on the border where there's just a line separating the factory, and then the Mexican employees come in on one side?
I think we're overthinking this. Just say it's made in America.
Just lie. Yeah. But no one's gonna find out.
No one's gonna find out.
And by the time they do, you just change your
like,
LLC.
You can't even find the ingredients of certain things you eat. Like you'll eat things and you'll be like, I don't know what's in that. And there's no way of knowing. No one knows.
It tastes like
and
poison.
it's like, is there anyone to call? No, there's not. There's no one to call.
So how many can you pump out a day?
Right now,
also,
doing-
are you married?
I'm divorced.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's how you have so much time. I
Yeah.
knew it. I'm sorry because I
Sitting
just
there sad,
I
tying your lures, doing nothing. Sad.
Yeah,
Your
'cause
whole family's destroyed.
I just imagine my wife yelling at me.
Hey, we got a pretty good relationship. It's not like that.
Okay, so it's good. You got a good one.
Yeah, it's
That's
not
good.
bad
That's
at all.
awesome.
It's
And
good.
if you could stay friends, I never could stay friends with them.
Yeah, we still I see her every weekend. We go to the cheerleading things together. It's not like that.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I was never able to do that because I'm such a good lover that they would get angry at me.
What-
They would
I got
get
sick of
angry
it.
at me leaving them.
What's Big Jigs sell theirs for?
Big Jigs?
I'm just saying.
I'm Big Jig.
Because I can imagine that there's some giant Bass Pro Shop company that mass produces these in China, like I'm wanting to do.
Yeah,
Jig.
most of them are across the board $5. And
Okay.
And that's for your basic one. It's wire tied in the store. And my whole thing was
You're selling your same price and it's handmade?
in Florida. It comes. Yeah, it's hard to upsell it. When I do the customs, I have kind of some flexibility. A lot of people don't want to go over $5 for the basic colors.
I got
What
an
about
idea,
okay?
Jason.
What about
This'll-
what about using like human hair?
Yeah. See, we use
What about using some
marabou?
exotics?
It's turkey feathers. too.
Yes,
They
now
kinda
we're talking. We
switch
need to
that.
make exotics. We
Okay,
need to
all
get
right.
some
Yeah.
Arabian horse hair.
Okay,
Then we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
get some unicorn thread.
Oh, we can get exotic hair.
Yeah, we need a lot of exotic hair.
Yeah, I think it's
you
called
could get-
marabou was what they called it before, but I think they now use.
You could get famous people's hair. Imagine if you got a hold of some
People's
Taylor
hair.
Swift hair.
Oh, I got it.
Imagine if you got a hold of some Bieber hair.
Jason, and this is what it's all in the marketing. This is how we upsell your jigs, right? And I love stealing ideas from successful companies.
I know.
We'll-
BYOCB said you sold everything.
Yeah. Look, everybody steals everything. It's open source world out
Sam
there.
says you've sold all
Yeah,
of
I
her
mean, I'm
clients.
making some of all the same colors some of these guys are making. I just
I hand paint them.
So this is okay. This is what you do. We're stealing this from Gabriel LaPlante. So each jig comes with a QR code, and when you scan it, it tells you the backstory of the jig.
Who made your jig?
yeah.
Hi, what's up? It's me, Jerry. I made your jig.
Yeah.
I wrapped it with the finest of my wife's blonde hair.
Yeah.
I put a little American flag on there.
Yeah, and
good angling.
And then it shows
Fish
what Jerry's done for a living. Oh, you incorporate
Yeah.
the veterans, and then like
Hi, I'm Jerry. My foot was blowed off in Vietnam. This is my service dog. Thanks.
It's what
Heartland for veterans, K9s for veterans.
So each QR code will go to the person who made your jig and their backstory, and then just like and then every little bit of money, the small proceeds go to this, and then
it always plays the national anthem.
And then that will be. And now you can sell your jigs for $10, and then proceeds go to someone. You build a factory. It all goes back to factories, and then you get them in there.
And then if you have a factory, you can say we're creating jobs.
Yeah. There's got to be veterans in China, right? We can get to somewhere, right?
I don't know.
I mean, they're so big of a country. Anyway. I'm sorry, Jason. I hope this helps.
I don't think it did.
Naughty Reels, is it naughtyreels.com?
Yeah, naughtyreels.myshopify.com.
It's cool. We make all these jokes. It is really cool that you built a small business during the pandemic. You do it all by hand, and it's cool because
a lot of people did that. I was listening to the news this morning, and they were talking about how there is a 22% increase in offices that are gone now, just because people like you.
I see it mowing grass. We do probably 300 to 400 accounts a week.
Yeah,
maybe somewhere in there, and everybody's home, and I'm sick of it, frankly.
Yeah.
I'm tired of y'all being home complaining at me.
Let's talk about.
Oh yeah, that's true. You used to be able to cut and leave.
Yeah. You don't want the customer there.
Everybody's got something extra.
These hedges are too high.
I stand in the backyard with my arms crossed and just watch you.
It creeps us out. But
every pass, I've got my eyes on you.
Let's talk.
And then I do that move where you look at my eyes and I look at your eyes, and then I point to my eyes and I point to your eyes.
So, Jason, let's talk about the landscaping business.
You ever made love to an old lady and needed it?
No. Do you want to?
They need it.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Where you want to be is the riding mower, right? That's the highest.
No, you want to be sitting in the truck checking the clipboard of where you got to go next.
Okay, or sit in the truck. I guess that's the supervisor sits in the truck.
Are you a supervisor or are you on the field?
We all hold like the same position. There's only 4 of us in running this whole thing.
Oh wow!
Okay. Well, one's
5 of us with the owner.
Okay, so
I want to be him.
But then there's got to be a hierarchy of.
We have one guy that's a foreman, but I mean I've been there. I've known him for 7 years now, I think, and it's just we all do the same thing. There's no, you're the supervisor, but we both mow. We have such a good process set now that you're not getting dogged out in the summer.
Nice.
Each of you's mowing. One goes to the front, one goes to the back.
But the weed eater guy, that's the lowest on the totem pole, right?
I've always wanted to be the weed eater guy.
The way we work, you're both a weed eater guy.
Okay.
There's not one guy singled out because,
and
that's why you see
new woke BS.
you see
everybody's on the everybody's on the weed eater, everybody's on the mower, and we're all the same.
What happened to the
we're
grunt
all
work?
the same here.
Yeah,
we all
the
do
new
the
guy
same
gets the
thing.
weed. The worst. What's the worst job?
My guys are watching right now, probably cussing.
Mulch man. The mulch man is why he's got the wheelbarrow and he's coming behind throwing the wood chips.
What's the hardest job when you're the landscaper?
All of it.
Yeah, but there's got to be one worse.
Yeah, I mean,
it's got to be something.
Go pick up all of our Sprite bottles.
Because when I see my yard guy, he's
guy?
on the mower, and then he's got his assistant doing the weed eating, and I'm like, well, the weed eating's got to be worse.
If I had to pick one job out of it, it'd be hedge trimming. That's
hedge trimming.
Because the giant hedge trimmer you got to hold over your head is so heavy. So you give the hedge trimmer job to the new guy, right?
To one of the taller guys.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I never got hedge trims.
Yeah.
I'm always forever a weed eater, never a hedger.
Yeah. Short and stocky.
Yeah, I'm better for under the bushes, not over the bushes.
All right. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think we're done with it.
We should keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah. 2 more minutes. So I guess we'll end with this. How much money can you even make selling jigs?
Right now,
because it seems like for $5 and they're handmade, like how long does it take you to make one?
Probably about 5 to 10 minutes on our basic line.
Okay.
If I have a custom and I'm painting it, an hour, 2 hours. I gotta let it dry and then bake it, and
so those
all that
cost
other stuff.
more.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean in now that we're gaining traction. Is I'll up the price here on customs.
Okay.
But just to get in, I mean, it was rough getting in just to get people to buy it. People don't trust you, especially in that industry. It's so big, and everyone has their trusted brands. So it's kind of hard to break into it.
Are there still just as much bass out there than there used to be, or is it like?
Oh man, I caught probably 40 bass this weekend walking around a bank.
So we're not having it's rare nowadays to catch a sailfish off the coast of Florida. Like it just, back in the 80s, our parents were catching them in the 70s, 60s. You should go out there and catch a 300-pound sailfish.
They're out there. They just don't like the coast anymore, from what I'm told.
Hey, so that's caused a problem, obviously.
Yeah.
But with bass, there's still just as many.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting pressured a lot. Since the pandemic, it blew up. There's a lot more fishing tournaments. You see a lot more. Everyone's a fisherman. Everybody thinks they fish now. And I'm not saying that, I'm the best or anything, but it's everything's pretty pressured right now.
But you throw bass back, though.
Yeah,
like when you catch them.
I don't.
Yeah.
I usually take them and I put them inside a pillowcase.
Yeah, a lot of the.
And then at the end of the day, I lay the pillowcase in the.
I wouldn't eat much anything
road.
out of these lakes,
in the road.
anyways. It's all the runoff from the pollution is.
So essentially, when you catch and release, that bass is fine after. It's not,
Yeah.
It's not hurting their mouth. Is there going to be
it's all torn up.
Is there one fish out there whose mouth is just?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure it's been caught a million times.
I've caught some of the same fish several times. I'm actually on a site where I posted a fish, and the guy, he's like, "Oh man, I caught that fish. He caught it and he lost its eye." He's like, "Oh, I caught that one. I made him lose his eye."
Oh my God!
You guys bonded over extreme animal abuse. I ripped his eye out. Oh, I ripped his lips off.
Oh, that's all the one eye. I caught him a year ago.
You want to buy one of my lures?
And I'm like, well, I'm sure there's a lot of fish with one eye.
As long as they're benefiting me in the tournament, I don't care what their lips look like.
You go to Lake Toho. How many bass are in there? A million? I mean, what are we talking? I don't even know.
Who knows?
Tens of thousands or 1,000?
I mean, because the FWC has programs where they release, into certain areas every year, or every so many years. So
I mean, it's chock full of them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever have a problem catching
We have
fish.
the peacock bass here, right?
Yeah, those are more down South Florida.
Yeah,
we don't get any of those?
No, not up here.
That freezes them out up here.
Yeah.
That's all in Miami. They ate all the regular bass down there, so it's hopefully peacock bass.
Yeah, they're an invasive species.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah. But people, they fight
harder. Do you eat
harder.
bass, or you just catch it?
If I find a freshwater spring, I might, but anything around here is
trash,
gross.
like eating.
You
what's
might
it
as well
How
just spray
gross is
Roundup
it?
in your mouth.
No,
really?
Yeah.
Is it that?
You
Is
can
it
eat
just
it.
chemicals and batteries and bullets?
Listen, I've worked for some of these spray companies, and I'm telling you, they don't follow regulations. I'm gonna tell you that. Right
we
now.
don't follow regulations either. Everything in here is like all hand wired
The-
and soldered.
The bass has kidneys and a liver and filters it out. Just don't eat the liver.
Yeah.
You can eat the meat. It's fine.
It's got
chemicals. You eat
I
chemicals
look
every
at them.
day.
They don't look like there's a lot of eating on there, right?
Some of them are pretty big.
Yeah, bony, I'm sure,
Yeah.
but I've seen Alone on Discovery Channel or whatever.
I feel like I've
people,
evolved.
you can eat anything.
I feel like I evolved to a point now where I don't eat fish with any bones in it. But as a kid, man, we would eat fish, and I was forever pulling bones out of my fish.
Yeah.
Like
That's
whether I was
old
eating a
school.
salmon
Yeah.
cake, I'm pulling bones out of it. I'm eating a fish fillet, I'm pulling bones out of it.
Yeah. That was before, like, people used to eat a lot more bones. It'd be tougher back then.
I think I was tougher.
So
I
you're
remember
weak now.
like eating a salmon cake,
Yeah.
and I'd be eating it, a fried salmon cake. What kind of trash people? I was eating salmon and grits, and there'd be bones in it.
Yeah. You eat some bones. Everything had bones
I'm
and
doing my-
hair.
yeah.
Just ate it. That's fine. Where can people find your website?
I'm on what is it? Naughty Reels Outdoors, myshopify.com,
There you
and
go.
then Facebook, Naughty Reels Outdoors, Instagram, Naughty Reels Outdoors.
And that's KNOTTYREELZ.
That's right.
And that's Naughty Reels. That's how you spell it.
Yep.
All right. If you need a number to some models, I have that as well.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
telling you, let's
Do
go
you
to
need some
business.
Hey,
We'll
we
be
have the
ready.
models.
let's talk about that.
And you don't have a current girlfriend, do you? Because a lot of them like to send you bikini photos ahead
I'm
of time.
single.
Okay, very good.
We'll have a quad engine center console,
Yeah.
Naughty Reels
Yeah,
on the
I'm-
side.
Yeah.
Let's set it up. I got
quad
a whole
350s.
women's apparel line too, man.
That's how to
man,
do
there
it.
we
I did
go.
all my own apparel too.
Okay, there you go.
We will be right back.
Awesome. We are still on YouTube and Twitch, but good job, man.
Thank you, dude.
Well
I
done.
appreciate you.
And James is very good too, or Jimmy rather. I don't know why I said James, like I know him.
Wait, Jason, Jimmy, James.
Jim's a good guy.
Very good. I liked how no nonsense he was. Where are we putting this?
That's Wednesday 1 and 2.
Wednesday 1 and 2. Well, thanks for coming in, man.
Oh man, I appreciate you.
Thank you,
so
dude.
much.
Anytime.
It's funny.
Hopefully I sounded all right.
Yeah, yeah.
Take care, my man. Yeah, you were great. You were
This
awesome.
will be, obviously live now, but it'll be
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna be on
on
the
Twitch.
radio Wednesday.
I'm already got a few messages from guys on the crew.
Listen to you.
Yeah, I think so. All right, y'all.
Cool.
Well, have a good rest of your day, man.
Unless you parked out the back. Yeah, we heard you get to come here. We usually relock it, get the door locked, and
See you, man.
Take it easy, guys.
You too. All right. I guess are we doing lunch now? Yeah, I guess we are. Well, guys, enjoy your lunch. I believe we're done for right now. And then we will be back on Facebook a little bit later for the BDM show. And we have Tony Monjet coming by to hang out because he was at the event. So we're going to talk a little bit about all of that. Hey, TC. 1. I think it'll be the standard. Are we on Facebook at 1?
Yeah.
Okay, it's lunchtime now?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, y'all.